information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in this Wednesday morning. Mike Fallon is here. We are going to have that roundtable discussion that we have every now and then about higher education happenings. And it looks like today we're going to make the connection between that education and the career that education will enable you to have. Good morning, Mike. How you doing?
Morning. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Pretty good. Are you excited? When does school start for you guys?
We start on Monday.
You do?
Yeah.
Just like the other schools?
Yeah, most schools, I think UCF, no.
We're on 24th.
24th.
24th. Oh, wow.
So,
a little bit longer summer, right?
A bit later, yeah.
Do you have that saying goodbye to summer anxiety yet?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yes. Made the comment last night. Where did it go?
Oh, really? Really? Did you go anywhere this year?
Just a little trip. We just went up North Carolina area, so yeah.
How many miles did you put on this summer, Mike?
I put a few miles on this summer.
Thousands.
It's
Tens of
unfair,
thousands,
all
right?
the places you've
It was a
been.
really
Don't ask
big
Mike.
summer. It was a really big
I know.
summer.
We
Yeah.
bumped into you one day, and I think you gave us at least 100,000 miles worth of...
Yeah, I earned some airline miles for sure. It's a good year. But no, we're excited. The school year is going to be up and running full swing coming up for most of us next week, and then following there and with the rest of the schools. But we wanted to talk about the connection between going to school, going to attaining higher education, college, technical, bachelor's, master's, depending on whatever you want to go for,
right.
and the connection with a career. Because even during the recession, there was some bad press about the value in going back to school. But today we want to talk to you about programs that we have in Ocala that are designed for students to complete a program and go into a career field, and then the auxiliary services that we provide to enable them to get into that career field.
Do you know one of the things I think we came up once in one of the previous shows was that not only is the education there, but what is available at the end of all of that is often a mystery. Like we don't know. Like, was it, what do you want to be when you grow up? That question,
Sure.
We don't really know all the things we can be.
Yeah. And I think, a great place to start is the College of Central Florida and their testing center, because they can test you. I guess that's the best way to describe it, right, Todd? Yeah. And determine what your interests are and what types of career fields it would relate to. And then you can kind of have an end game of, I want to go into journalism, or I want to go into engineering or IT, and find your path. And most of that, at least at the beginning, can be locally, and some of it you can go all the way through to the end and stay right here in Ocala, and that's what we want to talk about today.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Let's get some introductions in, if you don't mind. Greg, right?
Yes.
Am I remember right? Okay, Greg.
Yeah, Greg Sanko with St. Leo University. I'm admissions clerk and VA certifying official there.
All right, excellent. And Crystal, right?
Right. Crystal Flynn. I'm the coordinator of the University of Central Florida Ocala Regional Campus, and I'm also an academic advisor.
And Todd.
Yes, Todd Ryland, placement specialist for the Excel program at the College of Central Florida.
When somebody's looking at a career, there's two types in my experience. There's the one that has this very slow ramp. In other words, you're not going to be where you want to be for a few years. And then there's others where you can enter and where it's not a bad salary, it's not a bad position.
Right.
Does that ever play a role in making a decision of what you want to be? Sometimes it's better to take the slow ramp, because even though it takes longer,
I would say absolutely. It depends on what type of job you're looking for, and if it requires additional certifications by governing boards or the state or things like that. Psychology, for instance, which we all offer, that's one of the programs that there could be additional steps once you get a bachelor's degree, and then you decide what the next step is and what type of environment you want to utilize that degree, and then there's certification, so you have to get the degree that matches that. So it can be a little bit slow going. But we also have other programs like teaching that at the end of your bachelor's degree, it's built-in internships, you have exposure to the school district and the classrooms and the administrators. And for all of us, that pretty much guarantees a job for our students. I know we've got an excellent higher rate, I think all of the partners do, and teachers we were just talking about this, teachers are in demand. So that's an example of one of those fields that you can finish, and in most cases courses, I think, go right into a job.
Yeah, medical, science, and technology, those are great fields to go into, because sometimes, if you want to get a taste of medical, you're not sure if you really want to do it, but you can go for a certificate program or even a 1 or 2 year program, get your feet wet, and then continue on. And I think that's one thing that's going to be great that Todd's going to talk about is the Accelerate program. This is something that I won't steal the thunder, but I think really he should advocate that to us.
Yes.
Exactly. With the Accelerate program, it's all about high demand, high wage careers in high demand industries. So what we have with the Accelerate program at the College of Central Florida is short-term certificate programs that students will obtain real world credentials that these industries are looking for. For example, in our IT program, computer information technology at the associate science level, we have about 3 or 4 certificates that they can earn, college credit certificates, and then almost 4 or 5 industry recognized credentials, CompTIA A+, Network Plus, Security Plus, and that's what these employers are looking for. And IT being one of the most high demand industries that I'm seeing in this local area. We're getting our students jobs, we're getting them placed, and we're getting them decent salaries. So we're pretty excited about what we're doing. We have a number of other programs that are in high demand, our engineering technology program, accounting technology, and things of that nature. So,
do the employers look at the students even before they're ready to be hired? It's similar to the way a baseball scout would look at a baseball player.
I would say so, and I guess in a sense, our internship program, which all of our Associate of Science degree students are required to take prior to graduating, I always tell the students that's a real good opportunity for you to learn what it's like out there in the real world. Mm-hmm. It's also an opportunity to prove yourself to that employer. They're kind of testing you out to see if you'd be a good fit. You prove yourself, there's a good opportunity you could be taken on as an employee.
Exactly.
So,
I think we all see that with internship programs. It's a great way in, because a lot of times it's about who you can network with and who you can get yourself in front of, because they're getting stacks of resumes. But if you have experience in the industry and at that particular employer, you have a big competitive advantage. And I think we even just mentioned that earlier with UCF students, and I'm sure it's the same way with St. Leo University students, and at Webster University. Our master's degree programs in counseling require an internship. So they're working on an internship during the program. They finish the program and they may become licensed. And I would say over half of the time they get the job, or at least their first job, with the employer that they internship with.
Oh, that's nice. On Monday morning, there was a story that there was 100 teachers needing to be hired still in Marion County. By Monday afternoon, it was down to 73.
Right.
So they're hiring. I have no idea what the number is now. But the story did say that a lot of the teachers wouldn't be specialized, and they would have a year to become specialized in that one subject. Is that would you be the place to go to get that specialization?
Well, it's a very specific it's a very specific credential that you have to have. So specialized, what they could be mentioning, and I didn't see that article, but it could be the difference between teaching with a teaching degree, or if you're coming to the teaching profession with a degree other than education. So say you have a history degree and you want to teach.
Oh, I see.
There are additional
Okay.
certifications and examinations you can take to get the certification for teaching. And all of us have, I think, related classes. I know our College of Education and Human Performance on main campus, you can connect with them. We even have a special admissions group that work with those folks who don't have to go through our regular admissions process to take a few extra classes they need to get that certification. But that's very common if you're coming into the teaching field without having an education degree. So it's a great way to go back to work or switch fields. That can be a great fit.
Wow. But it looks like a good time right now to either further your education or become a teacher. It sounds like a good time.
Absolutely. I mean, our class that just graduated at the end of the spring term, so the folks that graduated ends in May, I check in with them regularly, and our entire class, that group of, I think 16 or 17 folks, all had jobs by graduation day. They had jobs. So that's kind of rare. In a lot of other fields, you're not going to find that. But teaching is one, and I think it's because of the way the programs are driven with that internship. It gives those local schools the opportunity to see those students in action at the point where they've learned their program and their skills are strong, and they can interact, they can network, they can do all those things.
And any specific career opportunities that are new this year, or at least new in the last couple of years, that are exciting that you want to share with us?
Well,
maybe in health or in sciences?
Well, at Webster University, last week we announced that we are going to be starting a new degree program at a graduate level. So we'll be offering a master's degree in human services, and that's based solely on demand for that degree program.
Really?
So our master's degree in counseling, which is a 60 credit hour program, is extremely popular. Out of all of our Florida campuses, we have more students in that program in Ocala than any other campus.
Really? Wow.
But a human services degree would be very similar, almost half as much time, so only 36 credits, so you can be done in about a year and maybe 3 months or 4 months, but it helps you get into that career field. And we have employers calling us and sending us emails for jobs on a regular basis for that particular field.
Wow. We'll take a little break, and we'll be right back. Again, this is Higher Education Happenings. Mike Fallon is your host of this distinguished panel right here. We'll take a little break and be right back.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Times of clouds and sun today with an afternoon thunderstorm in spots, high 88 to 92. Mostly cloudy tonight with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm around, low 74 to 78. For tomorrow and Friday, more clouds and sun with a couple of showers and thunderstorms in the area each day. The high tomorrow 86 to 90. Friday's high 86 to 90. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
If you're anything like I was, the thought of getting older was the last thing on your mind. But here we are. For me, it started slowly. The lack of energy, never being in the mood, and when I was, I could never perform at my best. I tried the pills and other treatments with minimal results, and all but given up on my sex life. Then, I found the doctors at New Male Medical Center. Wow, they made a new male out of me. Feel like I'm 25 again. I have renewed vigor, so much more energy, and no longer worry about my performance. New Male treated me like my situation was one of a kind, with a custom treatment plan that really works. I feel great. They can create one for you too. It does not matter if you suffer from low testosterone, erectile dysfunction, or just want to last longer. New Male will help you.
Call New Male Medical Center today at 352-404-4779. 352-404-4779. That's 352-404-4779. It will change your life. 352-404-4779.
Want to learn more about your furnace or air conditioner? Tune in this Saturday for free tips and expert advice on how to get the most out of your heating and air conditioning system. Or get a free AC rejuvenation by being the first person to go to cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com. Saturday, free tips and expert advice how to get the most out of your heating and air conditioning system. Or get a free AC rejuvenation by being the first person to go to cleanmyac.com. That's cleanmyac.com.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
That was the sound of a tree falling. It could be your tree. You're going to have it trimmed, but never got around to calling Pride Tree Service. It could have fallen in a field, and now all you have to do is call Pride Tree Service, and they'll have it quickly out of the way for a great price. But don't wait until the tree falls. It may not fall in the field. It may hit your car, your house, or worse. So call Pride Tree Service today and avoid all those headaches before they happen. Pride Tree Service, 840-0750. That's 840-0750.
18 minutes after 10 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. School starts Monday, and not just for the public schools, but for the higher education in all of them, apparently, according to Crystal.
That's correct.
But Mike Fallon is here. The show is called Higher Education Happenings. Mike is the Community Relations Coordinator with Webster University here in Ocala. Greg Senko is here from St. Leo. Todd Ryland is here. You're the specialist with...
Placement specialist.
Placement specialist. And Crystal is here. Crystal Flynn. We haven't heard from Greg at all yet, so let's go to Greg's expertise over at St. Leo. When do you guys start? Monday?
No, we start the week after. So
you get an extra week of summer too, huh?
Right. And just want to touch on a little bit about the admissions requirements and some of our programs as well as far as the career-oriented aspect is concerned. For admissions requirements, we don't require a foreign language, and that you just have an AA or an AS.
Okay.
coming in, and then we do have different class formats to be as accommodating as possible for students. So we have on-ground evening classes. We do have our online classes, and then something called ICC, which is an internet-connected class. Now, St. Leo does have a what's called a 25% requirement, where students that are attending, for instance, the Ocala Center, 25% of your classes need to be on ground. And the rest, of course, you could do on ground if you want. You could mix them up with online. Now, with that requirement, that ICC class does fall into the on-ground category. So basically, with the ICC, it's an online class that you can access from anywhere, right, but there are specific times you have to log in. So we have our distance learning classes, which are also online, and those are at your leisure. You can log in whenever you want. Now, with the ICC, again, though, that does require certain times to log in, but again, does fall in the on-ground category. As far as our career-oriented programs, we do have our elementary and middle grades education programs, criminal justice, accounting, and then probably, as kind of Mike touched on before too, with the demand with human services, one of the more diverse programs that leads to a plethora of careers in the future. So, like, just a few would be the like a drug abuse counselor, child advocate, juvenile court liaison, and community outreach professional. So, and as you can see, like again, with what Webster's offering with the Masters, St. Leo has the bachelor's here at the Ocala Center in Human Services. Right. And we do, I think all of us offer a great resource in guiding students to what that degree can mean for their future. Like, okay, I'm going for criminal justice. Well, what does that mean? Can I only be a police officer if I get that degree? Well, no. But our professors are very accessible and would be more than happy to sit down with a prospect, an applicant, a student, onto where they can go with that degree.
Well, see, and that's kind of what I was implying earlier, is that we don't always know what the education, what kind of jobs are available. We say police officer or lawyer. We don't know all the little, well, not little, but the lesser known titles that we could be working towards. I'm guessing juvenile justice is a whole separate entity from adult justice. I'm guessing, right?
It is. You could specialize in that particular area. For instance, our criminal justice programs, you could take a large number of electives that would gear you towards a future career, whether you're going into policing or corrections. If you wanted to focus on that specific population, you can kind of tailor parts of your degree, and there are internships usually, linked in with some of those professional careers as well. So we also have, to dovetail something that Todd mentioned earlier, what works great with their program with folks going in and earning those AS degrees is they can then transfer into our BAS programs, which are Bachelors of Applied Science. It's a little bit rare for state universities to offer the transfer options to folks who have an AS degree versus an AA, and we can get into what that means on a different show, but it's a different degree. The AS degree tends to be more field specific and focused, but we have several different tracks, including IT, and it's such an emerging field, software development. And a couple of weeks ago, I had the opportunity to visit our digital media center down in Orlando, and it's really it's expanding. The field is expanding. Women in the field is increasing. It's great opportunities to get a degree that goes right into a career, so you're finishing and you've got a job, and I think that's really important.
Right, and to focus our direction and to go where we want to go. I guess that's where the testing comes in, Todd, right?
Exactly. Yeah, Mike had mentioned earlier some testing options, and a new tool that we have at the College of Central Florida that's available for anybody, whether you're a student, prospective student, someone just out in the community, a high school student. You can take this tool for free. Offers you an assessment. It's a real quick 2-minute assessment. We also have a longer version for about 10 minutes. But you get through that assessment, it offers you some career options. You then go and look at those different careers, whether it be in the IT industry or criminal justice or education. It'll match you up with those careers. You look into those careers, you look at entry-level wages, what the demand is in the area, the local area, and then we'll tell you what type of degree do you need to get into that career. So it gives you from the starting point of where you need to start and how you need to finish. So that's a really great tool that's available to anybody.
So for instance, if there was a local university partner that had an IT position available.
Exactly.
It would be a great match for someone coming out of one of your programs.
And Crystal mentioned something right there, which is one of our students, our star students, Jennifer Barnes, and I asked her permission to mention this today. She graduated out of our IT program, and we were lucky enough to place her with our partner at the University of Central Florida in an IT position.
Oh, nice.
So,
oh, nice. That's good for her.
Definitely.
It's a seamless transition. It was great. And she's now a testing proctor for our business program that Todd is part of. So, let's keep it all on the university partner.
Am I guessing right that her talent just kind of shined anyway? I mean, she probably would have risen to the top anyway.
Absolutely, absolutely. She's a gem. We are absolutely thrilled to have her, and also working on encouraging her to continue her education as well. So, we're all about building the student towards that career that they, that is their goal. What they really want to do.
Yeah, ultimately, if you put the work in, you're going to get the results at the end of it, right?
And we all talked about if you don't have those, so you finish the first part of your degree, if you have your AA or AS and you're still not sure, we all have those career tool options, career resources. You can check in with any one of the partners at the University Center. We can give you the websites and other additional resources to help you decide, okay, I've gone this far in this field, is this really what I want to continue doing? What's next for me and what are my options? We can do that as well. So it's not that it's not an end game. If you do your associate's degree in one field and decide maybe this is more the direction I want to go into, we can all support and help you navigate that path.
If you look at the day in the life of fill in the blank, whatever career it is, I'm sure there are going to be things that, I don't like that part of it. Every job has that, right? And it always amazes me that people will still pursue things like police officer who have to deal with death and have to deal with, so many things.
Right.
Thank God there are people who say, yeah, I'll take on that responsibility and do that.
First responders, yes.
Yeah. So, and that is probably a common one, I'm guessing. Law enforcement is probably a common career.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we all have programs that match up with what CF has with their criminal justice program and their police training program as well.
And, medical programs, even business programs, employers they may not always ask for a degree, but they'd like to know that you know something about Excel, and you're proficient in PowerPoint, and you're organized. And a degree program gives you a lot of those skills, or at least illustrates that you have those skills because you've completed those degree programs. And in this area, all of us offer business programs.
Absolutely.
And they're still growing, and we're still having a lot of students come in and getting jobs in various business fields. And sometimes they don't get that upper-level CEO job right away, but they get into a manager and training position, or they can work their way up. And the skills that they've learned from their degree program gives them a competitive advantage in that marketplace.
Right. In fact, one of our business programs was overhauled last year, and it was reintegrated with soft skills. So when our students graduate, not only do they have the education, but now we're adding required components that include networking, resume writing, how to function in the career realm. So it's not just that you're getting the textbook information, but you're also getting that real world experience, so you can function well and successfully through an interview and get that job you're looking for.
And Greg, when you mentioned the 25%, I wanted to comment on that, because that in a way is real world learning for networking. I mean, if you're never around anybody and it's only you and your computer, you really are selling yourself short, or whatever the expression would be there. Absolutely. And you can get a great education through an online program, but it is really tough to beat the traditional brick and mortar experience and be in a classroom full of people where online, yes, you're in a virtual classroom and you make your discussion postings and reply to others and so forth, and you are engaged. But again, when you're in person, it's a whole different experience, and you do get a different different experience from that altogether. Most management positions are human interactive experiences. I mean, if you're a boss of anything, I mean, I guess you could be the guy in the corner just, popping out little widgets. But if you really want a good job, you have to have people skills. A law enforcement officer has to have this too.
Right.
And so that's, to me, it's really important. So.
But a lot of those programs have that built in. But it's important to remember as well that the reason we offer online programs has a lot to do with those non-traditional age students, so folks that aren't coming right out of high school going. So if they're already working in a field, say they're working in some sort sort of customer service. They're getting that component with whatever they're doing now.
Good point, yeah.
And now you're adding that education that's going to take them to the next level career-wise.
Yeah,
and that's what I think the Excel It program can do, and Jennifer's a great example of that. And we all have programs that can help facilitate and build that whole education path to the career goal. And that's what we ultimately are working for.
So how do you tap? Oh my gosh, we're out of time. Give us some information so we can ask questions.
Please, if you have questions, we will all be represented at the Colleges and Careers Night at the College of Central Florida. That's Thursday, September 3rd at 5:30 p.m. at the Big Glass Building at the front of the school.
Right.
Okay.
You can't miss it.
Does the Big Glass Building have a name?
The Ewers Century Center.
Yes. And you can also find all of us at the University Center, Building 20 on the CF campus. We all have offices there, and we're happy to meet with students and answer any questions you have.
Crystal, thank you. Todd, Greg, and Mike, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The head of the EPA heads to Colorado for a first-hand look at a mine spill disaster.
The Gold King mine spill accidentally unleashed by EPA workers poured